So, Eric, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing,
Good
Brett?
to see you.
It's good to see you too.
Great. So today we are wanting to discuss a little bit about the bounce back strategy.
Okay.
Want to go into a little bit where that originated and our history with it.
Sure.
And give everyone kind of a good introduction to it.
Okay, great. Yeah, so the bounce back strategy actually was created over a period of time. I've been trading for 20 plus years, and you know that because you and I have been trading for 20 years together.
Right.
And over the 20 years of trial and error, I've created something that has worked well for me for being able to determine utilizing indicators and different setups for market reversals or trend reversals based on different pairs. It's something I've been doing for about 15 years now, and you're actually using it too as well.
Absolutely, and hence the name with the reversals, bounce back.
That's correct, yes. So that is exactly what it is it's looking for a move in recovery for a move into the downward or upward move into those trends, right? So how's that been going for you?
Yeah, I've had a lot of success with bounce back. I have always coached that when I've, over the years of coaching I've done, I've wanted to always be leaning towards a longer term strategy, okay? Right. I've never been much of a scalper.
Right.
And maybe in my very rookie days when I didn't know any better.
Sure.
But the bounce back is ideal for longer term setups and then being able to let it run a long ways.
Right.
Because one of the things I try to stress to my students is that they've got to learn how to cut off their losing trades quickly and let their winners run.
Right.
Okay? That's a key point to every big name, legendary trader.
Right.
And so the bounce back is perfect for giving a long-term movement, whatever, a lot of pips, bottom line, that it can go without any real reason for turning around in any, major way.
Right.
There'll always be little, hiccups along the way, but nothing that would, stop you from getting, because we're not talking about going for 50, we're talking about going for 150 pips, 200, 250 over a period of days, which works much better for my style, as I know it does yours, than shorter term stuff.
Right. And that's exactly why I created it, was for exactly that purpose, because I am a swing trader. I'm a longer term trader. Yes. I like to get into the trades, let the trades run, then determine, okay, when has it been exhausted in that direction where I can then get out of that trade, and then possibly looking up at a setup for a reversal in an upward move back to a center line that has been developed. And it's worked really well for that reason, where you can take a new person in that doesn't know a whole lot about trading. They can duplicate, get into the trade, and they can ride it for that direction until they see, okay, hey, I'm where my target point is, and then I can get out of that trade. And they're stacking up, profits along the way as they're doing it, and it's been really successful for them. So that's what I was looking at, is creating something that allows people to get in the trade and not get out of it too early, but allow it to be able to facilitate.
Right. Okay, and so obviously that's something we need to get to. But first, why don't you give us a little bit of its history, just so that everyone can kind of have an idea of how, I know it, but how this came into being, and because now it's becoming very popular. It is. And especially in IML and so forth, it's becoming the thing, and so maybe we could do a little bit on that, and then of course, we'll talk about how it's easy for everyone.
The history itself just started with trial and error, really. It was just a combination of indicators that I had learned over practicing different trend softwares, different things that other companies had developed. And I would see, okay, this is working, this isn't working. And it took, 3 or 4 years of trial and error. And when I mean trial and error, winning and losing. When you're losing, I call it tuition. You're paying that tuition to the markets that, hey, you're getting your education.
Yes,
so over time, what happened is I started to see a combination of things that I was watching, and I've always been a reversal type of person. So looking for those reversals in the markets. And all it is I've just developed something that is consistent, it's very easy, it's color coordinated for people as well to make it easy for people. And then they can look at it, take just a matter of seconds to look at it and say, okay, that's a good setup. I'm going to take that trade and I'm going to allow it to go. So that's how the whole meaning and the reasoning this was developed was literally 4 years of hit and miss, 5 years of hit and miss, and then develop something that was so consistent that it's just been fantastic. And you've seen that, in what you've been doing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I think what's important for the new person in trading to understand, or even those that are looking for something better than what they've got going currently, what they got to realize is that there is a ton going on there. There is a lot of programming. There's a lot of years of, like you said, trial and error. And there is dozens of indicators. There's not 100, but there's dozens of indicators going into that signal. And so what you're benefiting from when you are just able to now watch the signal is, years of experience and school of hard knock stuff, plus lots of time into programming and to setting those charts up to where it's so easy for people to do.
That's right.
And I don't think most of them can really appreciate exactly what they're tapping into, because again, we've been doing this for decades. And it's taken a long time to get to this point. And it's now so user friendly. I mean,
well, and I always use an analogy is like, if you're going to go out, would you fly a plane without an instructor? You know what I'm saying?
The
4 years was the times crawling into the plane and crashing, you know? Exactly. So after a while, I got so tired of it that I actually, was able to utilize other instructors. And you're right. With what we do, we have created something, or I have created something, and I shouldn't say it's just me, but others as well along the way. We've created this strategy that is consistent. It's easy for a new person to come in and actually look at it and have a very short learning curve. They don't need the years of learning curve. They could do, a month to 2 months of practicing, and they feel confident enough in their trading at that point that they can then go into it and they can make money. And that's what I wanted to accomplish, and that's what I think I have.
And you've done that, and this is why I mentioned what I said when we get to that. You can get in, and as long as you have a live account, you can legitimately make lots of pips without a whole lot of knowledge. I mean, you've still got to be taught something. Like you said, you've got to have an instructor. But it is a much shorter time. And I mean, for me, it's gone on a long time that I've, and as it's developed and it's taken on slightly different looks and been tweaked here and there and so forth. But now that it's perfected, a new person can be in within a reasonable amount of coaching and instructions, and there's all kinds of videos all about the bounce back, and now people can get to where they want to get actually profiting from the market enough to not only offset their other costs to do it, but a whole lot more. And we've got people from millennials to retirees that are using bounce back successfully.
That's right.
And none of them have 20 years of trading.
Not at all. I mean, some of them have a month.
Exactly.
They have a month, 2 months of experience.
I was going to say some don't have 20 days. You know what I mean? But yes, exactly.
But what's fun though, Brett, with this is to see how people have taken this strategy and they've implemented it in their daily life. Because, I've got every walks of life doing this thing right now. I mean, I've got everything from truck drivers to dentists to airline pilots to security officers, and every one of them works a different shift. And so what's really fun, what we've created here, it opens the door for people to trade at any time. And that's what's neat about it. Instead of having to sit and go, okay, I'm trading from this time to this time, because if you're a scalper, with this thing, how we have it set up with alerts and all of that, people can trade at their convenience and at their time frame and be very successful at it.
And I want to point out that in addition to that, you can have a life separate.
Absolutely.
You've got your trade going. It's probably going to run a day or two in most cases. And so now guess what? You can sleep.
That's
you
right.
You can eat. You can actually hang out with your family and friends and do fun stuff. And you're making money in the market the whole time.
Yeah, and we have, I can use an example. I have even single mothers that are doing this strategy saying, I've never thought I'd ever make any money trading because, I thought it was something I'd have to sit in front of my computer all the time. And instead what's happened now is they're able to still take their children to the school, work their job, and still trade on the side. And as a single mom, be able to provide enough money for their family, and they're actually changing their situation, which has been good.
Right.
They don't have to have the childcare. They don't have to have those things that they've had in the past. They're actually making enough income.
Don't have to leave the house.
They don't.
Right.
They don't. And so it's really, really fun to see and read the testimonials that people are sending to us that, you know, this is literally changing their lives. And it really has been not just a blessing for them, but it's been a blessing to me. I'm very grateful for that. So,
excellent. Well, I think that's great. I think it's an amazing product for the brand new trader, but all the way to, hey, we've got traders that we've known for years that are saying, okay, you guys have got something here.
Yeah.
And these guys have been making good money in the market for many years.
That's right.
And have contacted us and said, okay,
yeah,
I got to know more.
I mean, I have friends that have been trading for decades, and they're like, I have never found anything this easy to ever trade.
Right.
You've set something up here that is so simple that I can actually teach my wife, or I can teach my daughter to sit and do this from school or whatever. And so it's a lot of fun, and the more that people get involved, the more testimonials, the more types of things that people are sharing, lower time frames, different things that they're using it for. And so it's been fantastic. It really has.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Eric, appreciate your time today.
You're very welcome.
I would like to personally thank you for the profitability I've experienced through the bounce back strategy. And I'm sure there's many watching who feel the same way or will soon feel the same way.
Sure. They're very, very welcome, and it's my pleasure. It really is.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome,
Good
bud.
to see you.
You're very welcome.
Hey, everyone. If you want to learn more about the bounce back strategy, join our Facebook group or subscribe to my YouTube channel, Forex Slayer.
Awesome.
That was
That's great. He looks great.
How you like the hair?